Hi. Even if this love disappears from the world tonight, from director Kim Hye-young and starring Choo and Shin, was in my top 10 favorite Korean films of 2025. It is a sweet teen romance that knows exactly what kind of movie it is, and it fully leans into the genre and tries to deliver on its familiar tropes, and I think for the most part it succeeds. First, a bit of context. This is a remake of a Japanese film of the same title, released in 2022. The original became something of a surprise hit in Korea, even outperforming Japan at the box office. That said, with a little over 1.2 million tickets sold, there was room to reach a broader audience, which is why we get the Korean version here. And yes, I did see the original Japanese version and enjoyed that one quite a bit. The core premise remains the same. Shin's character Hye-young suffers from short-term memory loss due to an accident. Every time she falls asleep, her memories reset to the day before of the accident. Yet she gets involved in a relationship with Choo-young's Jae-won, and they embark on a lovely teen romance. So, having seen both versions, did I enjoy this one as much as I did the original Japanese? I would say they are pretty close, but one edges it out just a little bit. Don't do what I almost did at first glance. It was easy to dismiss this as a variation on Groundhog Day or 50 First Dates. Like, the filmmakers are clearly aware that comparison is unavoidable, even assume that you've already seen 50 First Dates to use that to their advantage. Much of the logistical explanation of what it takes to live a memory resetting life is quickly glossed over, and I actually thought that was a smart choice. Like, we don't have to waste time retreading what many viewers will easily understand or already be familiar with. Director Kim Hye-young also had another theatrical release in 2025 called It's Okay, which I enjoyed quite a bit. She won Best New Director in Korea at the Blue Dragon Awards for that movie, and I felt her strengths lied in developing character relationships that feel believable and emotionally warm, and she brings a lot of the same sensibility here. The initial meet-cute between the two leads feels more believable, and some of the distracting subplots from the original version are cleaned up. The romance itself is fairly standard fare, like sweet, youthful, high school love, going on wholesome study dates, walks, and picnics. If you've seen your share of K-dramas, you'll know that this movie is not gonna have any makeout sessions. Like, when the two characters are getting to know each other, like, you can't help but enjoy seeing them together. Like, for long stretches of the movie, I almost forgot that Hye-young even had memory loss. Because of how well she's able to hide it, and because you just enjoy seeing the natural chemistry between the two leads. This video wasn't meant to be a Korean versus Japanese version comparison, but it is worth noting that the Korean version does address much of the criticism that the Japanese version had. Like, Jae-won's motivations for initially approaching Hye-young are much more clear, and subtle bits of foreshadowing have been made more explicit, and a few unnecessary plot points have been cleaned up. However, because of that, there are some characters that get lost in the process. Most notably, Hye-young's best friend. Like, Izumi in the original played a really critical role leading up to the final chapters, and I did miss seeing that play out in the Korean version. But at the end of the day, the major story beats and even much of the dialogue remain consistent, because so much of the film's emotional power depends on how the final act will land with you. Being such a close remake to the original does work against it. Me having seen the Japanese version, the most climactic moments didn't hit as hard this time, mostly because I knew what was coming, but also the theme song and the build up to the final scenes. I think the Japanese version did it just a little bit better. That said, I did enjoy my time revisiting the story. This is a well-made teen romance that will resonate best with viewers experiencing it for the first time. And for those that have seen the original, Shin and Choo are charming and attractive enough to make the film an easy, enjoyable watch. I will give this 3.9 out of 5 and the Japanese version a 4. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.